of the best things about traveling is that it exposes you to different cultures and traditions that exist around the world. But as a tourist, of course, it is your responsibility to not do anything or say anything that will offend someone that is living in the country that you are about to visit. Okay, so for me, guys, it is always good to educate yourself about certain things that you should do and the certain things that you should not do before visiting a foreign country like the Philippines. In this video, I am going to give you a list of things that you should avoid doing while you are here in the Philippines. For me, I think this is already a common sense because if it's gonna be you guys, how would you feel if a tourist coming your country and then he or she starts criticizing the people, the food, the culture, the traditions that you have in your country? You're gonna feel annoyed, right? And that same goes for the Filipino and the Philippines as well. Because as you guys know, Filipinos are very proud of their country, the food, the traditions, the cultures. And yes, Filipino pride, guys, is actually a legit thing here in the Philippines. So you have to be very careful and think before you say or do anything, okay? And also, if you guys don't know, they are very protective about your country. So even the slightest criticism could be taken in the wrong way. So in short, everyone, you have to really think before you say anything, before you do anything. Well, you may not avoid this since you are going to travel as a foreigner, but you know what, guys? It is still best to maintain a low profile when traveling around the Philippines to avoid sketchy situations. And you know what? The most important tip that you have to do is to travel light. Okay, so when moving around the Philippines, do not bring your entire luggage with you. Okay, just try a small backpack instead of all these essentials that you might need for the day. And also, make sure that you don't bring too much money or cash with you. Just bring only enough money with a few extras like coins, like 1 peso, 5 pesos, 10 pesos. And also, guys, do not forget to exchange your money for some small bills and a few changes, as these will save you when you are going to make a small purchase in the convenience stores, sari-sari store, karaoke stores, bar, clubs, or any certain places. And also note that the Philippines generally have just been introduced to cashless payments recently. So chances, guys, are if you are visiting or if you are going to visit the provinces in the Philippines, you might still need to have to pay in cash. So it's really important, guys, to, have like a few extra money or cash with you, but do not bring a lot, okay? Just do not bring too much to avoid getting scammed or getting all your money from the thief. And also, everyone, as a part of maintaining a low profile, please at least try not to look too much like a tourist. And if it's necessary, just put away your camera, your phone, your iPhone, and just wear light clothes, and then avoid traveling alone in the dark places in the Philippines to avoid provoking locals. Okay, try to avoid provoking locals, guys, because it's gonna be hard if you're about to have like any troubles or conflicts with a Filipino locals here in the Philippines. Some public transportation, especially taxis, tend to overcharge foreigners more because they know that foreigners are actually not quite familiar with the area around Cebu, Makati, Manila, or any places here in the Philippines. So guys, to avoid being overcharged, you can ask a few locals that you might be traveling with about how much the typical cost that would take you from the location A to the location point B. Okay? So, just consider this as a reference to how much you should expect to be charged and how much is the estimated price or the estimated cost that you're about to pay from this location going to this destination. Okay, and also, everyone, when riding a taxi, make sure that the meter is running correctly. Okay, and also check if the taxis have an appropriate government seal to ensure that the meter has not been tampered. Actually, you can use other option for this. You can actually use the Grab app or the other ride-hailing apps when going around the places here in the Philippines, like Maxim or Angkas. Okay, and by the way, these apps, guys, have fixed prices upon booking, and you can score discounts from coupons. But of course, to register for an account of these apps, you might need to have your Philippine phone number with you. So you really have to invest and buy some Filipino SIM card like Globe, Smart, San, Talk and Text, TM. So, just try do all these things because it's not only gonna save you some money, but of course, it will also be a bit more convenient. The Philippines may be one of the more budget-friendly destination in Asia, but that does not mean that everything is cheap here. Okay, that is just so funny because that is not true at all. And you know what, guys? As the saying goes, nothing in life is ever free. And that is true. Because you know what? Philippines may be a developing country and the cost of living here is significantly lower. But you know what? The prices of restaurants here, the electronics, imported luxury goods in some parts of Metro Manila might literally surprise you. And yeah, let's just say that sure, the Philippines is, much cheaper country than the other Western countries like US, Australia, UK, Germany, or any other those Western countries. But guys, do not assume that you are being cheated just because you are being charged a little bit more than what you hope for that item, for that food, for that drinks. Okay? And you know what? Just a friendly advice. To avoid heated exchange with a store owner or a pickup driver, taxi driver, angkas driver, the best way to go about things, guys, is just by firmly agreeing on a price beforehand. Okay? And, if they insist on the amount that you wouldn't be happy to pay for, then just simply walk away. No one is forcing you to buy that if you think that is just too much expensive for you. Okay? Because you know what? When bargaining, pleasantly make your offers, and if you're not happy with the price that they give you, then just politely decline. Okay, and remember, always remember this, that while you are trying to make a good buy on your end, this owner, these drivers are actually trying to make a living on their end as well. So it's better to just ask first before getting heated in any kind of situation like this. Okay? While Filipinos are known to be generally happy people, sometimes some other people just easily get offended, like me. Sometimes that Filipino humor does not fit your humor as a foreigner. Like, for example, everyone, Filipinos may imitate or laugh at your fluent English accent. But you have to remember, guys, that this is not a mockery, okay? They do not mean to insult you, but instead, they find something different and amusing about you in a good way. And also, when dealing with Filipinos in rural areas like provinces, be more cautious about what you're going to say, especially when you are going to say something about personal and the people there, in the tradition, cultures, or the food there. Okay? Because, people in the provinces, guys, tend to be more sensitive and easily offended than those who live in the busy cities like Manila City, Dumaguete City, Cebu City. And the subject of not offending locals. Locals in each area may have different unique customs. For example, it is a tradition to wash your feet in some rural areas before entering the house. So you have to observe that, guys. You have to be aware of that. You have to respect that kind of situation or that kind of normal things that they do. So to show some respect, you have to follow what you're doing. So if you're going to enter a house in the rural areas or the province areas, you have to take off your shoes, or sleeper as well before going to the house. The Philippines is regarded as a friendly country for English speakers. However, you can never expect that all Filipinos to be excellent when speaking in English. Filipinos always have English as one of the primary medium education here in the Philippines. And that's the reason why most Filipinos are very familiar with the English language, especially for those who live around the major cities in the Philippines like Manila City, Cebu City, Davao City, and Dumaguete City and other cities. So it is safe to assume that you can find at least one English speaker in anywhere you go. Okay, and you know what? Generally speaking, many Filipinos know how to speak English language and can actually even speak it fluently. Though, the same cannot be expected for all the places that you might be visiting your country. But of course, wherever you go, just expect that there will be always that one person who knows how to speak English. Some provinces may be far from the cities where usually proper education is hardly accessible. These kind of areas tend to have like difficulties in speaking or understanding in English. Some may even struggle with native English accent or pronunciation. So just try using more simple words, and more importantly, everyone, do not make fun of their effort to communicate with you in a non-native language, okay? Because you know what, guys, sometimes Filipinos are, again, they tend to be easily offended or sensitive. So just be very sensitive as well to speak slowly and do not speak fast in order for them to get whatever you're trying to say, for them to understand you. Never shy away, especially when Filipino is trying to show you hospitality. Because you guys know that Philippines is very well known to be a very hospitable country. Okay, so you have to expect that you can easily get along with the people, with the Filipino people here in the Philippines. And you know what? The Filipino people actually embrace the culture of pakikisama, or what we call here treating others very well, especially our visitors. Okay, because it is just part of our general culture, everyone. Filipinos will try their very best to make a good first impression to other people, especially to the visitors. Other thing as well is some Filipinos will actually even throw a welcome parties for any visitors when anyone is actually going to the community who is invited. Any foreigners, any people who is invited for Christmas, birthday, wedding, christening, or any other occasions, guys, expect that most of the Filipino family will actually going to throw you a welcome party. So, just do not shy away and just respect by saying thank you, thank you, thank you for doing this, okay? While some Filipino people speak English, especially in touristy areas or major cities in the Philippines, just remind yourself, guys, that it is not guaranteed wherever you go. Okay? It's not guaranteed that wherever you go, everyone can speak English. Well, let's just say that there will be that one person who knows how to speak English. But if you are unfortunate enough to go to a place whose everyone cannot speak English, so you will be like miserable. You're gonna be like in a very hard situation. So it's really important to at least try learning some few Tagalog or Visaya words, so that when you get here in the Philippines, at least you are ready to communicate or to have a little conversation with the locals. So here is the friendly tip that I could give you guys. Do not assume that everyone can understand and speak English perfectly. Okay? So instead of assuming that, why not just try to learn and use simple Tagalog phrases like salamat, which means thank you, kumusta, which means how are you, magandang umaga, which means good morning, magandang gabi, which means good evening, magandang hapon, which means good afternoon. So, the fact that you are trying to learn some few Tagalog or Visaya words, that means that you are actually respecting the Filipino people because you want to actually communicate with them by learning some of the few Filipino words. So again, just do that because it will make a chatting breeze and it will earn trust and respect from the locals that you will meet along the way. Like for example, if you're going to the store, convenience store, sari-sari store, local market, mall, or wherever you go, guys, they will give you that kind of respect and trust that, oh, this guy, this foreigner, this tourist is actually know how to speak in English. So they will give you that kind of treatment. You can have a conversation with them. And at the same time, it will be an advantage for you because you will be avoid cheated on, lied to, and being scammed. You know what? It's actually a good thing that you take time very seriously. But if you are here in the Philippines, everyone, do not expect the same thing from the locals. Okay? Because Filipino like doing things on their own sweet time. Because, there is something called here in the Philippines the Filipino time, which actually refers to anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour long delay of the clock. Okay? And even if you are going for a casual gathering, just take your time and arrive at least 15 to 20 minutes late to the event, guys. And just be casual and be cool about it because, sometimes Filipino have this kind of mindset, the Filipino time, that they will say to you that, yes, I'm gonna be there in 15 minutes, I'm gonna be there exactly 10:30 a.m. But then they ended up being late for like 30 minutes or worst case scenario, 1 hour late. So again, it's good. It's good as a tourist or a foreigner that you really take time very seriously. But then again, if you're here in the Philippines, everyone, just do not expect the same thing from the locals. When it comes to gatherings, guys, the Bureau of Immigration states that foreigners are prohibited from joining or participating in any political rallies or demonstration here in the Philippines. Because, joining them would strongly be considered as an act of meddling with the Philippine internal affairs. And if you do rallies, guys, tourists can be blacklisted or even deported regardless of the age, gender, or nationality. So remind yourself, everyone, to never get involved in any political demonstration here in the Philippines. And it doesn't really matter if they are often colorful, intriguing, and very exciting. Okay? But if you have the urge to take a public demonstration photo, keep a very safe distance from the activity, or better, just do not take any pictures at all. And guys, be careful of what you might going to post online, especially when you are going to make any commentaries on the Philippine government, because trust me, you're not going to have to deal any trouble while going to retire, visit, or travel here in the Philippines. So just enjoy your time visiting here, traveling here, but do not get yourself involved to any kind of political rallies here in the Philippines, okay? So yes, that's it, guys. I just really hope that you learned something in this video. Please do not forget to subscribe, click the like button, and click the notification bell for more videos updates. Bye-bye!